Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Regarding question number 6 is asking for if V is equal 3i minus 5v and W is equal negative 7i plus 4j, I want to find the value of 3v minus 4w. So 3 multiply the value of V, which is 3i minus 5j minus 4, and the value of W is negative 7i plus 4j. So it's equal to, unfortunately I'm using the HDMI, so that's why the written is not that good. So it's negative 4 multiplied by negative 7i plus 4g. So it's equal, 3 by 3 is 9. So 9i minus 15g minus 15j minus 4 by 7 is negative 28i plus 16j. So it's equal to 9 and positive 28 is 37i and negative 15 and negative by positive negative يبقى negative 31j. So the right answer is C. The right answer is C. Number 7, we changed the sign in the middle to positive, so it's a 3v, and 3v is equal to 9i minus 15j. Now it's a plus negative 28, 4 multiply negative 7 is negative 28i plus 16j. So it's 9 minus negative 28, which is equal negative 9i, and negative 15 was positive is positive j, sorry, negative 19i. So the right answer is D. Regarding number 8, he is asking for the magnitude value of V, and the magnitude, this is called magnitude, and the magnitude of any vector is equal to the root of the square of the first value plus the square of the second value, which is equal to 10 by using your calculator. So the right answer is B. Regarding question number 9, it says that a vector V whose magnitude is 17, so the magnitude of V is equal to 17, and the direction in I is 5 times J. I is 5 times J, so I is equal 5 times the value of J. So I'm sure that the answer is not A and B according to my students who told me right now, Allah Mabarak. But regarding numbers C and D, if we can see that 85 is 5 times the 17 and 85 is 5 times the 17. Okay, so I should look at the magnitude here. But I'm going to cancel D. Why? Because this sign is negative and this sign is positive, so 5 times this value is not equal to 5 times that value. But if we look carefully at C, we'll figure out that this is negative and this is negative, so 5 times the negative 17 is equal negative 85. So I'm sure that the right answer is C, and the magnitude in both of them is equal to 70. Question number 10. This is a good one. Magnitude of V is equal to 8 and the angle is equal to 90. Find the form in AI plus BG for the magnitude. We know that V as a component is equal magnitude of V cosine the angle plus magnitude of V sine the angle. This is in I and this is in J. So magnitude of V is 8, so it's 8 cosine 90 in I plus 8 sine 90 in J. Cosine 90 is equal to 0. so 0 I. And sine 90 is equal to 1, so it's 80j, so the answer is 80j, so the right answer is A. Number 11, I'm going to follow the same rule. So V is equal 3 cosine 180 in I plus 3 sine 180 in J. And cosine 180 is negative 1, so it's negative 3I. And sine 180 is 0, so it's negative 3I. So it's negative 3I, so the right answer is C. And the answer here is C. How to find that dot product between two vectors? The easiest equations in vectors. To multiply V, which is I plus 4J, multiplied by W, which is 7I minus J. All what you have to do is to multiply the first by the first. So I multiply 1 by 7, and you add the second by the second. 4 multiply negative 1. So 1 by 7 is 7. 4 by negative 1 is negative 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. So V dot W is equal to 3. So the right answer is D. Question number 13, how to find the angle between two vectors. You should know that cosine, the angle is equal V dot W divided the product of the magnitude of V and magnitude of W. So first, you need to find the dot product between V and W. Negative 9 and 5 multiply negative 6 and 9. So it's equal negative 9 by negative 6, which is 54, plus 5 by 9, 45. So 5 and 4, 9, so it's 99. And then to find the magnitude of V, it's the root of negative 9 squared plus 5 squared, which is root of 81 plus 25, which is equal the root of 106. And the magnitude of W, root of negative 6 squared plus 9 squared, which is equal 36 plus 81, which is equal the root of 117. So the angle, to figure it out, it's a cosine inverse of cosine inverse, and to find cosine inverse, shift inverse, cosine inverse of 99 over the magnitude of W, which is 106, multiply 117. By using my calculator, inverse cosine of 99 divided the root of 106, multiply the root of 117. It's equal to 27.3 degree. So the right answer is D. How I can prove that two vectors are parallel? Two vectors are parallel or orthogonal. Orthogonal, it means perpendicular. To prove that two vectors are parallel, the ratio between ij should be the same. The ratio between I and J should be the same. So if you look at this ratio in V, the ratio between I to J is equal 9 to 5. So I'm going to this one and find the ratio between I and J. So 15 over 2 divided 25 over 6. Of course, this number is positive, this number is negative, so it's not gonna be the same. So it's not A. And it's not B, because negative divided by positive, it won't give me the same. And it's not C, so I'm sure that it's D. So it's 3 over 2 divided 5 over 6, which is equal to 18 over 10, which is equal to 9 over 5. So when two vectors are parallel, if they have the same ratio of I to J. Now, when two vectors are orthogonal, if the dot product is equal to 0. If the dot product is equal to 0. Let's first define if they are parallel, orthogonal, or neither. 3 times 6 is 18, and 2 times 4 is 8. 18 plus 8 is 26, so it's not 0, so they are not orthogonal. Let's find the ratio between I to J in V. Let's say 3 over 2. And here 6 to 4. 6 to 4 is equal to 3 over 2. So they are parallel because they have the same ratio. Some of the students called it the same slope. Find number 16. Find the solution vector V and W are orthogonal. And I said that orthogonal means that the dot product is equal to 0. So 1 multiplied by 2 plus negative A multiplied by negative 3 should equal to 0. So 1 by 2 is 2 plus negative A multiply negative 3 is 3A is equal to 0. By solving this equation, 3A is equal to negative 2 after subtracting 2 from the left and the right, and divided by 3 for both sides. A is equal negative 2 over 3, so the right answer is C. Regarding question number 19, is asking for the determinant, and the determinant here is very easy because I have 2 by 2 matrices. All what I have to do in this case is to multiply 2 by 2 and subtract the answer from 4 by 4. So 2 by 2 is 4 minus 16, so it's negative 12. So the right answer is A. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Regarding question number 20, he is given the graph of the ellipse and he's looking for the equation, and as we can see clear that this is ellipse, so the equation cannot be negative because negative is for the hyperbola. So to find the equation of the ellipse, we know that the general equation x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared is equal 1, just in case of the ellipse is passes through the origin. So we need to count the diagonal on the x-axis. Its length from negative 5 to 5, which is equal to 10. So the half of the length is 5. So a squared, if a is equal to 5, so a squared is equal to 25. So it should be x squared over 25. And the distance on y is 3. That's why b is equal to 3. So b squared is equal to 9. So how I figure it out again? By finding the length of the major axis, and the length of the major axis is equal to 10, and the length of the minor axis is equal to 6. Sorry. From negative 3 to 3 is 6. (21) he is not giving the graph, but it gives me the equation, and I prefer while you are solving the ellipse that you sketch the ellipse. Sketch the, so I will draw the x-axis and y-axis. This equation, so the center is 0 and 0. The number below the x-axis is 49. So positive and negative root of 49, which is positive and negative 7. So I go to the left 7 and to the right 7. And the number below the y is 4. So positive and negative 4, which is equal positive and negative 2, root of 4. So I go up 2 and I go down negative 2. So here is the ellipse, if I'm looking for the graph. The point here is called vertices, and we are looking for the major vertices. So this point is 7 and 0. That point is negative 7 and 0. So this is V1 and V2, or V2 and V1, order doesn't matter. The problem now is how to find the foci. To find the foci, I need to find C. And there is a rule says that C squared is equal A squared minus B squared. So the difference between these two numbers, so C squared is equal 49 minus 4, so C squared is equal 45. So the value of C is positive and negative root of 45, which is approximately positive and negative 3 root 5 in radical. Sorry for that. So I will go back to the center and move to the right 3 plus 45 and move to the left 3 minus negative 3 root 5. So this is C2 and this is C1. So to find C1, it's 3 root 5 and 0. And to find C2, it's negative root 3, 5 and 0. So if you look carefully, we'll find that center is 0 and 0. Of course, it's not 0 and negative 2. The foci here is wrong. So I'm going to concentrate and give attention to number B and D. The points of the vertices are the same, center are the same, but this point lies on the y-axis, so the right answer is B. Regarding this one, is very easy. He's asking about if you graph this ellipse, and he's looking for the center and vertices and everything. So I try to sketch. My advice to you in the ellipse, especially and the hyperbola, is to sketch. So the number below the x squared is 4, so positive and negative root of 4 is positive and negative 2. So you go to the origin and move 2 to the right and move 2 to the left. And the number below the y is positive and negative root of 64, so it's a positive and negative 8. So I go up 8 and I go down negative 8. I join between them. Sorry for my drawing. So I know that the major axis is here. So here is the vertices. So here is V1 and V2. So 8 and 0. No, it's a 0 and 8. And 0 and negative 8. So this is V1 and V2. So I'm going to cancel D. And I'm going to cancel C. I'm going to cancel A. So I'm sure that the answer is B. How to find the foci? Again, to find the foci, I need to find C squared, which is equal A squared minus B squared. It's the difference between the two numbers here. So it's 64 minus 4. So C is equal positive and negative root of 60, which is equal positive and negative 2 root of 15. So as we can see, it's 0 and 2 root 15 and 0 and minus root 15. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Regarding question number 23, all what I have to do is rewriting this equation of ellipse in the form of x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared is equal to 1. So I'm going to divide the three terms by 324. So 4x squared divided by 324 plus 81 y squared divided by 324 is equal 324 divided by 324. Here is 1, here is 4, and here is 81. So here is x squared and here is y squared. Now I wanted what? I wanted to find the vertices and foci, and I'm solving ellipse. The best method to solve these kind of questions in the ellipse is to sketch. So I'm going to draw x-axis, I'm going to draw y-axis. The number below the x-axis is 81. So positive and negative root of 81, which is positive and negative 9. So I go to negative 9, left and right, put 2 points. These are the vertices, because the longest side is below x, the longest side below x. And the number below y is 4, so positive and negative root of 4, which is positive and negative 2. So I go up 2, I go down negative 2. So here is the ellipse. So the measure axis is on the x-axis. So I'm sure that this point is 9 and 0, and this point is negative 9 and 0. So here I'm going to cancel number C, and I'm going to cancel number A. And this is a good thing in the multiple choices, that you should think about the two wrong choices. So I'm going to concentrate my work in B and D. I have the center, which is the same, and I have the foci, and I have the vertices. But look at the vertices here. So the right answer is D. Directly, Mr. Hisham, I don't have to even to find the foci. But what if the question was in multiple choices and he is asking for the foci? I find the vertices, and to find the foci, I know that c squared is equal a squared minus b squared. So c squared is equal, a squared is 81, b squared is 4, so c squared is equal. So what the value of c? It's a positive and negative root of what? And you have a center 0 and 0. So f1, the first foci, which is located here and there, this is sketch, not a graphing. F1 and F2 is root 77 and 0, and F2 is negative root 77 and 0 if the question is not a multiple choices and you need to write the steps of working. Regarding question number 25, he is asking for finding the equation of the ellipse such that the point 0 and 0 is the center and the focus point is 4 and 0. This is F. And notice that the vertex here is 7. Since I have this distance 7, so on the other side I have negative 7. And here is the ellipse. I don't have these 2 points, but I have V1 and I have V2. And I have F1 and I have F2. Since this length is 7, so the square of 7 is equal 49. So the number below the x squared should be 49. And the only equation that it's x squared below it 49 is C. But what if the question is not a multiple choices and I need to solve it, or I need to write the equation? This is what you should think about. While you are solving any multiple choices, think that it could be a free response. So in this case, I have x squared over 49, right? And I don't know what is the value of b. So this is what I'm looking for. I got 49 from the squaring of the 7. Right. I know that c squared is equal a squared minus, what is c? C is the value of f, which is equal what? 4. So 4 squared is equal 7 squared minus, so 16 is equal 49 minus b squared. So b squared is 49 minus 16, which is equal to 33. So now the equation is x squared over 49 plus y squared over 33 is equal to 1. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Regarding question number 26, he is asking for finding the equation of the ellipse. And it's a very easy one, I think. Why? Because I have the center 0 and 0. Since the center 0 and 0, you are able to do the equation of the ellipse. Because the equation of the ellipse in this case, again, it's x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared is equal to 1. So if you draw an x-axis and y-axis. This point is 0. The vertex is 0 and 7 here is up. Since I move from 0 to 7 up, I should move to 7 down. So this distance is 7, this distance is 7. So the number below the y should be 49. The focus point is at 5. The focus point is at 5. So it's up 5 and down -5. I know that this is the graph of the ellipse, but I don't know the x-intercepts point. The x-intercepts points. And I know that c square is equal a square minus b square. C square, which is 5 square. A square, I can consider it in this case as 7 square, and I'm looking for b square. Why? Because the major axis is the one on the y. So b square is equal 7 square minus 5 square, which is 49 minus 25, which is equal 24. So b square is equal 24. So I'm going to take this number and put it here. Mr. Hisham, you wrote for me that here is b and here is b. You can change it. You can make this is a and this is b, whatever the letters, but you should know that the number below the x is the length of half the minor axis, and here the half of the length of the major axis. So it doesn't matter where is a and b. What is matter is the number below the x and the number below the y. Find the center, foci, and the vertices of an ellipse, and the given equation is equation of an ellipse. Before I start solving this one, I need to rewrite this equation in the form of x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared is equal to 1. So I will divide here by 900, I will divide there by 900, I will divide here by 900. So x minus 2 squared over 25 plus y plus 2 squared over 36 is equal to 1. My advice to you is to solve using the sketching of the ellipse, because if you start sketching the ellipse, it's going to be much easier for you. So all what you have to do is to draw the x-axis and the y-axis, or even sketch them. And the vertex or the center of this curve is it changing the number beside the x and it's changing the number beside the y. What do I mean by changing? If it's -2, if it's x minus 2, so the center is 2. If it's +2, so the center is -2. So by using your sketching, go to the point 2, 1, 2, and go down to 1, 2. So here is the center. Now, the number below the x is 25, and positive and negative root of this number is equal to positive and -5. It means that you are going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units on the x. If you stand at 2, so you reach 7. So this point is 7 and -2. And you are going to move 5 on the y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this point is going to be -3 and -2. So I can consider this one as V1 and V2. But actually, the major axis is below the y. Positive and negative root of 36 is positive and negative root 6. So I go up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I reach the point 4. So this point is 2 and 4. And I go down 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this point is going to be 2 and -8. This is actually the vertices of the curve. So I can write that V is equal 2 and 4 and 2 and -8. If you wanted to write the other two vertices, it's okay, no problem. Now you can join between them. It will give you the ellipse. Okay, what is left is the foci. What is left is the foci. And as we said, if I need to find the foci, c squared is equal a squared minus b squared. So c squared is equal 36 minus 25. 36 minus 25. So 36 minus 25 is equal to 11. So C is equal positive and negative root of 11. So I go back to the center, and the center here represents for me 2 and negative 2, and I will move up. So I'm going to change the value in the x or in the y? Y. So it's 2 and negative 2 plus root 11, and 2 and negative 2 minus root 11. You have just to plot it on the graph. So this is the first focus point, and this is the second focus point. You can change this into decimal. I think root 11 is approximately 3.4 or 3.2 plus or minus 2. So you go up and go down, just calculate it. Doesn't matter. Yeah. One of the type of the questions, which is the last type, is how to transform the equation by using the completing of the square to write the equation of the ellipse or hyperbola. So as we can see, I have 2x squared plus 5y squared minus 24x plus 70y plus 307 is equal to 0. First step, that I'm going to write 2x squared minus 24x together and 5y squared minus 70y equal, moving this to the other side, negative 307. Then after this step, 2 and 24, I will take 2 as highest common factor. So it's going to be x squared minus 12x plus 5 taken as highest common factor, so it's y squared, and 70 divided by 5 is 14. How I complete the square? By opening bracket to the power of 2 minus x, I put down this sign. Half of 12 is 6. Squaring of 6 is 36. Again, how I complete the square for this one? Bracket to the power of 2 minus. I put down the negative. Y. Half of 14 is 7. Squaring of the 7 is 49. Then I expand. 2 multiply this and 2 multiply that. 5 multiply this and 5 multiply that. So 2x minus 6 squared minus 72 after multiplying 2 by 36 plus 5 y minus 7 squared negative 5 by 49 is 245 is equal negative 307 equal negative 307. Then 2x minus 6 squared plus 5 times y minus 7 squared is equal to negative 307 plus 72 plus 245. So by using my calculator, it's equal to 10. So 5 y minus 7 squared plus 2 multiply x minus 6 squared. So I will divide here by 10, there by 10, and here by 10. So the final answer is going to be x minus 6 squared over 5 plus y minus 7 squared over 2 is equal to 1. So the center in this case will be 6 and 7, changing the value of x with changing the value of y. And so let's go to the questions. Center 6 and negative and 7, 6, center 6 and 7. I have a mistake. I'm very sorry for that. But this sign is negative, so this sign is positive. Sorry for that. So this one is positive, so this one is positive, so this bracket is positive, so this bracket is positive. So it's 6 and minus 7. 6 and minus 7. So the answer is A or C. But as we can see in C, that this is not 2, this 5, so I'm sure that the right answer is find the determinant, and the matrix here is 2 by 2 matrix. So to find the determinants of this matrix, all what I have to do to multiply 2 by 3 and then 2 by 1 and subtract them, 2 by 3 and 2 by 1. 2 by 3 is 6, 2 by 1 is 2, 6 minus 2 is equal to 4. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Regarding question number 35, it says that I have a matrix 2 by 2 and the determinant of this matrix is equal to 32. What is the value of x? So notice that I have a missing number here I'm looking for. So to find this value, I know that the determinant, I multiply 8 by 5 and I subtract 2 by x, which is 2x. So these values equal to 32. 8 times 5 is 40. 40 minus 2x is equal to 32. I may ask myself, 40 minus what to be 32? 40 minus 8. So 2x is equal to 8. In this case, divided both by 2. So x is equal to 4. And the right answer is D. I have a matrix 2 by 2, multiply another matrix 2 by 2, and as we know, if I multiply a matrix 2 by 2 by another one 2 by 2, the answer is always another matrix 2 by 2. So I have another matrix here 2 by 2. I'm going to simplify. When we are going to multiply, we multiply row by column. So I multiply negative 1 by negative 2, negative 1 by negative 2, give me 2, plus 3 by negative 1, which is negative 3. And then I multiply the row by the other column. Same row, the one in yellow, by the other column, which is green. So negative 1 by 0 is 0. And 3 by 2 is 6. So 2 minus 3 is negative 1. 0 plus 6 is 6. Now the second row, 3 and 2. So 3 by negative 2 is negative 6. And 2 by negative 1 is negative 2. And 3 by 0 is 0. And 2 by 2 is, so it's negative 8 and 4. So the right answer is A. The right answer is A. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Question number 39, and I'm going to multiply two matrices. Before I start multiplying, I should write the order of the first matrix, and the order of the first matrix is 2 rows multiply 3 columns, and the order of the second matrix is 3 rows by 2 columns. Since the number of column of the first is equal to the number of row of the second, I can multiply them. I can multiply them. If it's not, you cannot. And what the answer? 2 by 2. Again, if it's not the same number, you can't multiply them. So the answer now, I know that when I multiply 0, negative 3 and 1, 5, negative 1 and 0, by 1, 2, 0, 1, 1 and negative 1, it gives me a matrix 2 by 2. From where I got 2 by 2? From these two numbers. Top. How I multiply? I multiply row by column. I multiply row by column. Let's start the first one. First one here is 0 multiply 1, which is 1, plus negative 3 multiply 0, which is 0. 1 multiply 1, which is 1. So the first element is 1. Before I continue, I am sure that the answer is not D and B. Why? Because the answer is 2 by 2. How come? It could be 3 by 3 or 2 by 3. Let's go back. 0 by 2 is 2. Negative 3 by 1 is negative 3. 1 by negative 1 is negative 1. So this is negative 4 and positive 2. 0 by 2 is 0. Negative 3 by 1 is negative 3. 1 by 1 is, so it's negative 5. Right? 0 by 2 is 0. Negative 3 by 1, so it's negative 4. And then 5 multiply 1 is 5. Negative 1 by 0 is 0. And 0 by 1 is 0, which is 5. And then 5 multiply 2 is 10. Negative 1 by negative 1 is negative 1 plus 0, so it's equal to 9. So the right answer is A. Make sure that you can solve it without multiple choices because it could come in the free response. Another multiplying of matrices, the order of the first one is 2 row by 3 columns. So the order of the first is 2 by 3. And the order of the second is 3 by 1. Since I have the same number here, I can multiply them and the answer is gonna be 2 by 1. So the first matrix is 8, negative 2 and 5, negative 3, negative 8 and negative 8. Second one is 6, 4 and negative. So let's multiply it. This row by this column. So 8 multiplied 6 is 48. Negative 2 by 4 is negative 8. 5 by negative 1 is negative 5. So it's equal to 40 minus 5 is 35. Then I multiply the second one. Negative 3 by 6 is negative 18. Negative 8 by 4 is negative 32. Negative 8 times negative 1 is positive 8. Negative 18 and positive 8 is negative 10 and negative 32 is negative 42. So the right answer is B. Find the inverse of a matrix. Notice that in the exam, I may ask you to find the inverse with using calculator or without. It could be multiple choices, could be free response. So let's solve 42. I will show you all the steps of working because I have a provided space here. So for number 42, if I'm looking for the inverse of a function, let me write for you the rule. If you have a matrix A, B, C, and D, then A inverse is 1 over AD minus BC, which is the determinant, multiply, change the places of A and D, change the sign of B and C. So it's 1 over 3 by 1 minus 1 by 0. And notice that if this value is equal to 0, there is no inverse for the matrix. If this value is equal to 0, there is no inverse to the matrix. Then I change the place of 1 and 3 and change the sign of 0 and 1. 1 is positive, I change it to negative. So it's equal to what? 1 over 3 multiply 1 and negative 1 and 0 and 3. It doesn't finish because you are going to multiply this fraction by these 4 values. So it's equal 1 over 3 and you can keep it as a fraction. And 1 over 3 multiply 0 is 0. 1 over 3 multiply negative 1 is negative 1 over 3. 1 over 3 multiply 3 is 1. So this is the inverse of the matrix. Now let's go to question 41. So it's going to be 1 over 1 by negative 5 minus 1 by 1. And then I change the place of 1 and negative 5. So negative 5 is here and 1 is there. And change the sign of the number 1 and 1. So it's going to be negative 1 and negative 1. So it's equal to negative 5 minus 1 is negative 4. No, sorry, negative 1 minus 5, negative 6. Multiply negative 5, negative 1, and 1. So it's equal to 1 over negative 6 multiply negative 5, 5 over 6, 1 over 6, 1 over 6, negative 1 over 6. So in this case, the right answer is B. Regarding the last question, how I can find the inverse of a matrix 3 by 3, and to find the inverse of the matrix 3 by 3, all what you have to do is use your calculator. I'm going to get my calculator and press mode, check where the matrices are. It's number 6, so I press 6, and I'm going to input matrix A, which is, I called it, so it's number 1. Order of this matrix is 3 by 3. So why it's not 3 by 3? So I go back, mode, 6, 1, 3 by 3 is number 1. So I input the data. So 2 equal negative 1 equal 0 equal negative 1 and 1 and negative 2 and 1 and 0 and negative 1. So after I input the data on my calculator, all what I have to do to press AC and then go to shift matrix law number 4, and for some calculators you are going to press operations, and then you are looking for the matrix that you called it. I called it matrix A, so I'm going to press 3. Then I press on the inverse, and the inverse is here. As we can see, it's here. So I press it, and then I press equal. And as I can see, I have the inverse matrix. And the inverse matrix, as I can see, so the inverse is going to be from my calculator negative 1, negative 3, negative 1, negative 1, negative 2, and negative 1, 2, 4, and 1. And this is how to find the inverse of 3 by 3.